Hello, 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 brothers and sisters out there in the land. How are you doing? How you doing? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome to the first part of the week, my brothers and sisters. Come on in, come on in. This is your brother Tony, and I'm ready to get into this particular topic tonight. How you doing, Sister Flo Harvey Martin? I see you, John Hancock down there. How you doing? Come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. We're going to have a very, very entertaining and deep show tonight. This particular show is for adults only. When I say adults only, I'm talking about to you grown people, you man, and you women, or a woman, or whatever, you females, you males. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We got some good content that we got to get into tonight. And while you're coming in, go ahead and get your bag of popcorn and soda. Courtesy of Sister Flo Harvey Martin, go ahead and get it. And come on up close so you can get into the show. How you doing, Sister Deborah Lee Scott? I see you, John Hancock down there. How you doing, Sister Pamela P. Love? I see you, John Hancock down there. Come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. We got a few more seconds before we jump into this content. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a new broadcast today, my brothers and sisters. We're about to get on a roll. It's something that I need to open you up on, my brothers and sisters. Some of the things that you'll know about, and it won't be no surprise to some of you, but to others it might be a surprise. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, brothers? How you doing, sisters out there? Thank you, thank you, thank you for setting aside a little time where you could be here with your brother Tony. And for those of you, this might be your first opportunity of viewing the broadcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships, my brother and sister. I talk about relationship pertaining to a man and a woman from a biblical perspective or position. When I say a biblical perspective or position, it's from God's own word. I talk about the gender and relationship between a man and a woman. If you don't agree with the account in the Bible when God created the man, he had a unique relationship with the man, it being Adam. He caused a deep sleep to come upon Adam, and then he got a rib. He stepped to the side and he formed the woman Eve, and he represented the woman back to the man. And at that point, Adam said, before God, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. That's the position I come from. But if you come from another position, my brother and sister, you got what is called a free will. You can do whatever you choose to do. But on this particular broadcast, I talk about the relationship between a man and a woman, like I said, from a biblical perspective. With that said, we're about to jump into the content for tonight. The content for tonight, what often happens when sex comes before marriage? Again, what often happens when sex comes before marriage? I'm going to say that again, my brother. I'm going to say that, my sisters. What often happens when sex comes before marriage? But before I really get into the broadcast, my brother and sister, let me put this out there first. When you look at your brother Tony, I'm not holier than thou, okay? I'm not holier than thou. And I know what often happens when sex comes before marriage. Cause my brother and sister, I hope to disappoint you, but I must tell you the truth. Before I got married, I had a sexual past. And like a lot of you, if you be honest, you had a sexual past before you got married. When I was having my sexual past, my brothers and sisters, most of it came from a position of what we call lust. It was not because of quote-unquote love, but like a lot of men and a lot of women, they equate having sex with a member of opposite sex as love. Majority of the time, it's not love, it's lust. I'm going to get more into it. Now, my brothers and sisters, that's what I want you all to know. So when I talk to you all about what I'm about to talk about, I'm letting you know now that I had sexual intercourse before marriage. Was it right? It was wrong. It was wrong in front of God. It was wrong towards that woman. And it was wrong because I sinned against my own body. Like a lot of you, you sin against your own body right now as I speak, or you're going to sin against your own body after the presentation or sometime this week. You know what I mean? So, my brother and sister, question. Do you have any type of addiction. Now, some people have a drug addiction or whatever. Some people have, like, say for instance, cocaine. When a man and a woman, they might think they could, they out of curiosity, a man or woman might think, hey, let me try a little coke. So they might, out of curiosity, they might go try a little coke, and then once they get that hit, they were saying, well, it ain't that bad. It make me feel real good, and I can have control over it. So it don't really do nothing. I can have control over cocaine. So what happens? That man or that woman that get this high on cocaine, and once this man and woman have a high on cocaine, what happens? They come down, right? It goes up and you come down on a physical level. So after that man and woman come down, they want to experience some more coke. So they go to get some coke from whoever they got it from, whether it was a male or female. So what normally happen, how you doing, Sister Kitty? What normally happen is this. A man or woman, they're going to get addicted some kind of way. And when the addiction come, my brother and sister, and we're using the illustration now, coke, when the addiction come, it comes and it hits you silently. The cocaine don't say, I got you. It don't tell you that. It works slowly on you. And then before you know it, you thought you had control over cocaine, but you did not have control over cocaine because cocaine got you. And this is what I'm talking about too, my brothers and sisters. Now, when it comes to sex, sex is a beautiful thing, my brother and sister, but sex can be an addiction. A lot of people don't talk about it, but sex can be an addiction. Some people think they can control sex, but a lot of times it's an addiction, my brother and sister, like anything else. So some brothers and sisters, they are battling with this sexual crave, and you can be delivered, my brother and sister. For those of you that are coming in, tonight's topic, what often happens when sex comes before marriage? And as I have stated, for those of you that are coming in, I am an example of having sex before getting married. But at that particular time, after you get married, but before you get married, this is where Jesus come in at, my brother and sister. When Jesus come in, what Jesus do, how you doing, Sister Sherry Smith? When Jesus come in, Jesus cleans you, my brother and sister. He cleans you for anything you did wrong, including sex. So when Jesus come into your life, my brother and sister, whatever you did prior to Jesus come in your life, his blood wash it away. So when you get before Jesus, Jesus is not going to bring up what you did before sex. If you are in his blood and your sin is covering his blood, Jesus is not going to bring it up. The world going to bring it up. Jesus will not bring up your sexual history towards you. But men and women, they're going to bring it up. They'll say, I remember when he or she used to be out in the street. I remember he used to sleep with all these women. I remember when she slept with all these men. That's how the world going to do you, my brother and sister, when they know a little about your past. They might not know all about it, but they might get little bits and pieces. But don't let a man and a woman send you to hell, because no man and woman is the Lord, my brother and sister. Now, let us get into this hot topic for tonight. What often happens when sex comes before marriage? We are going to address this from a physical and a spiritual level. Again, we're going to address this from a physical and spiritual level, but we know between the physical and the spiritual level, there is the soul level, okay? But we're going to try from the physical, then we're going to reach the spiritual level. Now, as it is written in 1 Corinthians, this is chapter 6, verse 19-20. Again, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, 19-20. 1 Corinthians 6, 19 through 20. Listen to what I'm about to say, my brother and sister. Do you not know that your bodies are the temple of the Holy Ghost, who is in you, whom you receive from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your heart, okay? Honor God with your heart, my brother and sister. Again, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, 19 through 20. Brothers, sisters, you got to realize this. First of all, there's nothing wrong with sex. Let's put this out there. There's nothing wrong with sex. It's what we do with the sex. Understand there's nothing wrong with it. So don't be ashamed to talk about sex or nothing. Some people, they treat the word sex as a taboo. And as you know it, sex is out there. That's one of the most popular topics out there besides money. So my brother and sister, it's what you do with sex, okay? Now, what goes for you, brother and sister, and what goes for me, those of you that are watching this particular broadcast, you are aware that that body, your body, which you look in the mirror at all times, your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost. So your body, my brother and sister, is like a tent or it's like a house, and you live inside your body. When you look at me, you just see my body, you see my face, but the real Tony that you're looking at is inside this body, okay? Is inside the body. Sister Cheryl said, I'm freezing up. Am I freezing up to the rest of you all? Because right now I'm looking on this monitor and I'm still going. So if I'm not freezing up, just tell me no. If I'm freezing up, say yes, because I'm looking. I hope that I'm still going with the program. I hope that I'm not freezing up. Can I still go, my brother and sister? Can I still go? Am I freezing up? Just let me know, yes or no. So Sister Kitty said, yep. So I'm going to keep going on. Okay, thank you. I'm going to keep going on. My brother and sister, your body. Thank you, Sister Cheryl. Your body, my brother and sister, if you believe in God, the Spirit of God in you. So this is what you have to be very, very knowledgeable of, my brother and sister. If you're a follower of Christ, you got to understand you cannot just play with your body. How you doing, Sister Sandra? You cannot just play with your body. Your body, the Bible say that you are not your own. You were bought at a price. What price were you bought with? You was bought with Christ's blood. So your body belongs to Christ because the Holy Spirit lives inside your body. So you're going to have to understand it, my brother and sister. Now this other point, 1 Corinthians 6:16. 1 Corinthians 6:16. 1 Corinthians 6:16, it states this. Paul making a statement when it comes to sex when you're not married. Listen to what Paul said. Do you not know that he who unites himself with a prostitute is one with her in body? For it is said the two will become one flesh. You understand it, my brother and sister? Paul say, even when you are with a prostitute, you are united with a prostitute. So my brother and sister, if Paul say, do you not know he who is united with a prostitute is one with her in body? So this is what it tells you, my brother and sister. Any person that you have sex with, you have become united with that person. Whether it's 2 or 1,000, you, my brother, and you, my sister, you are one body with everybody that you have had sex with until the Lord cleans you. You understand that, my brother and sister? I have been with more than one woman, but when the Lord came into my life, he cleansed me from that. Everything that I have done, the Lord cleansed me. Some of you brothers and sisters, y'all have had sex with multiple people. But when you get with Lord, the Lord will cleanse you. So you're one spirit with the Lord, and if you're married, you're one flesh with your mate. Now, when it comes to sex, my brothers and sisters, you got to understand it. When it comes to sex, it involves more than your body. It involves more than your body. It involves your soul and your spirit. So my brother and sister, whenever you have sex with someone and you're not married to that person, it's more than the physical part, my brother and sister. This is what a lot of people don't understand. I at one time did not understand that. At one time, my brother and sister, some many years ago, I wasn't thinking about sex involved my soul and my spirit like a lot of you in your past. You weren't thinking about sex involved your soul and your spirit. You were not thinking that way. I was not thinking that way until the Lord illuminated me, so I understand when it comes to sex, it's more than the body. It involved my soul. which is my mind, my will, and my emotion, as well as my spirit. The spirit is the Lord in me, which is the Holy Spirit that is in you, my brother and sister. You understand it? So you got to understand it, my brother and sister. When it comes to sex, it is a triune thing. Your body is going into this act. Your soul is going into this act. And your spirit is going into this act. Now, let me tell you this, my brother and sister. Most of the time, when a man and woman have sex, they will not likely get married to the person or those people that they have sex with. Listen to me again, my brother and sister. If you have been with multiple people, you know right now you did not, per se, go to the courthouse, get that marriage certificate or license and marry people. Most of the time, my brother and sister, you will not marry the person or people that you have had sex with. Even though you had sex with them, they still a part of you. They still a part of you. Now, that's why sex, you cannot have sex and think it's casual. You see, the world will teach you, my brother and sister, that sex is casual. There's nothing casual about sex because God put sex here for two reasons. He put sex here to reproduce. When it comes to a man and woman to reproduce his or her kind, and also sex is a part between a man and a woman that's married, not a man and woman that's not married. I did the thing without being married. You have, a lot of you that looking at me have had sex without being married. So I understand what I did was wrong, my brother and sister. You got to understand that what you have done is wrong or what you're still doing. But you see, the thing about it is that when you get married, my brother and sister, that's the positive side of sex. When you're not married, that's not the positive side, because you see, the world will tell you ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. It said there's nothing wrong. That's what R. Kelly say. There's nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Yes, my brother, even though that appeared to be a nice song if you're in that mindset, because as a matter of fact, I used to like that song. But to tell you the truth, when you really listen to the words of it, there is something wrong with just bumping and grinding. You supposed to just bump and grind with the person that you married to. God don't care if you bump and grind with the person that you married to, but he does care about if you bumping and grinding with a person that is not your mate. Why? Because most of the time, sex, my brother and sister, it is reduced to one thing. Most of the time, sex is reduced to this word called lust. Most men and sisters are not going to say, can I come make lust to you? Most men will say, I want to make love to you. Like, what the name of the song, Let Me Make Love to You? When you hear these kind of songs, my brothers and sisters, it is not talking about a man and a woman. It's talking about a man and a woman that are not married. It's not talking about a man and a woman that are married. Most of the time, it's talking about a man and a woman that aren't married. So majority of the time, my brother and sister, sex come down to lust. Now, what is lust? Let's define what lust is. Lust, my brother and sister, usually is an intense or unbridled sexual desire. Okay, Sister Cheryl said that I'm freezing again. Am I freezing? Have I gone through the freezing stage yet, my brother and sister? I hope that I have. I know we're having a little bad weather here, but I'm going to try to get through this show. Can I go? If I can go, just say I can go. So I want to go with this, what I'm talking about. Can I keep on going, my brother and sister? Can I keep on going, or do I need to pause for a minute? What do I need to do? Let me know. Can I go on? Just say go on, or give me the thumbs up or something so I can know. Okay, thank you, Sister Sharon. Now, when it comes to lust, my brother and sister, most men, when they approach a woman, it's about lust. You got to understand this. It's about lust. And then there are a lot of you sisters out there, when you approach men too, it's about lust. Now, lust is an intense or unbridled sexual desire, which comes to lasciviousness. What is lasciviousness? Lasciviousness is defined as unrestrained sexual behavior or habitual inclination to such a behavior. That means, my brother and sister, how you doing, Sister Twilight? That means You want to have sex. You want to have sex, but you want to have it even if you're not married. That's what lust is. You want to do it your way. I myself, my brother and sister, I did a lot of lust in my lifetime. And a lot of you, brother and sister, you have done a lot of lust. But you see, I did wrong, and I admit that I wrong, but the Lord cleansed me, as I have said a few times. For example, let me give you an example of lust, my brother and sister. Men in this society are often encouraged. Listen to what I'm saying, my brother and sister. And we narrowed it down to the United States of America, the free, the proud, the brave, the most liberal, one of the most liberal countries on earth. For example, men in our society are often encouraged by other males to go get as much as we can. You understand that, my brother and sister? So, sister, don't be surprised when a whole bunch of men come up to you just talking. We have been encouraged. We encouraged by people men that we grew up with when we was young. Let me tell you something, my sisters, what you might not know about, but a lot of men know about this. When men are young, sex is talked about a lot. Sex is talked about quite a bit. What normally happens when boys are young? They mostly talking about sports and sex. Okay, sports and sex. Those are two main topics. So what happens as a man grow up or a youth grows up? The thing about sex is promoted a lot within the pack. It's promoted a lot within the pack. What do I mean by that? Most men will do things like, man, you need to go get it. And you all know when I talk about go get it. So that's a lot of peer pressure on a lot of guys. So a lot of guys, they just do it just to be doing it. They don't know what's going to happen on the backside after they have sex. What happens on the backside, I'm going to get deep into it, like it affects the young man's mind. It affects his will, it affects his soul, it affects his body, and especially it's going to affect his spirit. The same thing, sister. It's going to affect your mind, your will, your emotion, and your body. So I let you know now, sister, and not only when you're young, it's a whole bunch of grown men now. The only thing that's driving them is to make money and get sex. That's what drives most men of the flesh, to get money and have sex. So, sister, don't be surprised when a lot of guys come up to you and then you say to yourself, all he want to do is have sex. Majority of men, that's what they want to do. Let's just put it out there. Majority of men just want to have sex. That's a fact, because of our society pushing it on them. And as you know, my brother and sister, when you look at commercials and everything, it promotes sex. When you look at movies, TV thing, it promote, how do you keep people interested in something? You put some sex in there. When people write these shows and stuff, for it not to be quote unquote bored, just throw some sex in there. Throw some power in there. When they say power and position, throw some of the sex, because we got to get these people hooked, because sex sells. My brother and sister, sex sells. And a lot of time when males are growing up, we are encouraged by our peers to go get it. So what happens when young guys are encouraged to go get sex? What happens is this, my brother and sister. What happens is this. When the young man is encouraged to go have sex, what's supposed to happen? He's supposed to go back and report it to his friends. He's supposed to go back and report the conquest. And this is what he's supposed to report. He's supposed to give the woman's name who he had sex with. Then after he report the woman's name or girl name, depending on your age group, after he reports the girl's name, this is what a lot of you sisters might not know about, what happened on the men's side. And after that, after he reports the girl's name, he reports what type of game he played. And so when he reports the game he played, then you have a little laughter and all that kind of stuff. And what he doing by the game, he telling play by play what he did to be able to have sexual intercourse with the young lady. After he tell her name and what game he played on the woman, he tell his boys what he did to her. And after he tell his boys what he have done to the lady, then he tells the boys how she responded to what he's doing. So yes, my sister, like some of you all do the same thing on the woman's side, but on the man's side, it's a report that goes out to his friend. And when the report goes out to his friend, guess what happened? Depending on how he think about the woman, his friends might want to go test out that theory too. So some of you be thinking, what kind of friend does this man have? A lot of times, sister, when the man is not investing in you, when he go tell his friend that these grown men could do that, and then you find his friend approaching you, don't let it shock you that his friend is doing that, because a lot of times his friend is doing because he gave his friend a report, and sometimes he give his friend the green light and say, yeah, man, you could go ahead, I'm finished with it. It was nothing to me. So sister, don't be surprised if a man friend come up and try to make a pass on you. You have been discussed, and to tell you the truth, that man tell his friend how easy or how difficult it was to have sex with you. That's part of the report, how easy it was and how difficult it was. When it come easy, was I able to have sex with her on the first date? Or did I have to do some things to jump through some hoops to get to it? So that's part of the conversation, sisters, what some guys do when it comes to sex. Now, on the other hand, most women are encouraged not to allow men to have sex with her unless he is committed to her, minus being married. So a lot of you sisters, when you are told about, oh, you better watch these young men and young boys, because all they want to do is have sex with you. But a lot of time, it could be your mama, and it could even be your mama, like I say. She might not tell you to wait till you get married, but she might tell you something like, he got to commit to you now. Let him commit to you, and if he seems like he's okay, then you might have sex with. By the way, do you need some birth control pills? Do you need something called, your mama is putting, and it's bad to say, but some of you mamas and some of your daddy, you promote premarital sex to your children. Because some of you, and I know why you're doing it, for two reasons, for pregnancy and for diseases. How you doing, sister Cynthia? So that's why some parents promote this buying prophylactics and all that kind of stuff. For the two reasons, no children out of wedlock and no diseases. So some of you sisters, you are encouraged just to hold back unless you think that the man is nice. And then when you think that the man is nice, then you might consider having sex with him. Therefore, this is why a lot of women go ahead and have sex, because they feel that the man is committed to you, sister, whether he verbally said it or not. Because based on how the man treats you and you go by your feeling, you think, oh, it's okay if I have sex with him because I know a little about it and I feel that we are in a relationship. Sister, you're not in a relationship with a man until you cross up those 3 hurdles. And I always say that. He got to be serious with you. He has to be committed to you. And he needs to be married to you. Those the hurdle. Even if you up in age, sister, I'm just telling you something for your good. I'm telling you. I know how a lot of men operate. And a lot of sisters, you know how men operate. And brother, you know how a lot of women operate too. But for those of you that are coming in tonight's topic, what often happens when sex comes before marriage? When you have sex, my brothers and sisters, with a member of the opposite, but I'm talking to you, sister, when it comes to commitment, whether the man verbally committed to you or he was not verbal committed what type of relationship do you have before you have sex with the man? You got to understand, where are you at in your relationship? From a world standpoint or from God's standpoint? From God's standpoint, he wants you to be married. From the world standpoint, it's okay to test the waters. And they go from men and women. It's okay to test water. This is the point where most things go wrong, my brother and sister, when it comes to testing the water. After what appear to be some passionate sex, and some of you sisters may be able to identify with what I'm about to say. After what appear to be some passionate sex, for the most part, now go through your Rolodex of your mind, sister. For the most part, when a man finished having what appear to be passionate sex with you, it appears like he get disengaged shortly after he ejaculate. If you notice this, sister, sometimes men come on real strong before they have sex with you. So when they have sex with you, and after they have their ejaculation, you will notice immediately a change. You will notice immediately a change. He's going to change because what happened? The man went to a proverbial mountaintop experience. That means, if you notice this, sister, and I'm getting detail, when a man be about to ejaculate, you know that he's about to ejaculate because he started going faster, right? He started going faster. And when he released himself, now at that time, sister, some of you may have a climax, then some of you may not. But what mostly happens to the woman quickly, shortly thereafter, sister, most of the time, not all the time, stretch what I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying, not all the time, but most of the time, sister, it tends to be where most of the time, you tend to bond quicker with that man through your heart, your feelings, and your will. So you saying, I done gave out this man my body. So I gave him my all. But sister, when you give a man your body, you have not given him your all. Once you gave that man your body, you gave him your soul too. You gave him your soul, your mind, your will, and emotion. There's nothing casual about sex. Even if the man get up and it seems like it doesn't faze him, on his soul level, he doesn't recognize it, sister, but it will affect him down the road. You cannot have sex with a man and a woman without it affecting you. If it don't affect you immediately, it's going to affect you down the road, especially when you get in a relationship with other people. I'm going to say this right now. Have you noticed, my brothers and sisters, that sometimes when a man and woman have sex, and especially they continue to have sex, somebody, as they say, going to catch feeling, but it's more than just catching feeling. You done went to the body, the soul, and the spirit part going to kick in. I'm about to get to the spirit part shortly, but it's the soul. And you all know the thing about soul time, it's going to affect you one way or the other. So this is why sometimes, and I'm just giving you an example, this is why sometimes, brothers, when you be out with another woman, and this woman that you have been having sex with, if she come there and like you at a restaurant and she say, like, who is this? You know, more than likely she's going to call the lady another name. Most of the time they do. And then that's supposed to aggravate the other ladies. At this point, sister, you need to understand this. You don't know what that man told that woman that's with him. He could have told that woman that, he could have told the woman that he's in a relationship with someone, a quote-unquote relationship. And then majority of the time, he ain't no hardly tell that other woman that he's in a relationship with another woman. Like a lot of times, sister, you don't tell a man that you're in a relationship with another man or men. So it could go both ways. So, brother, I want to tell you this too. There are some sisters that appear to be angelic, but the halo is leaning to the left, which means that they're talking to more than one man and you don't know about it. Women sleep with a lot different men, just like men sleep with other women. Sex is something more easier for a woman to get than a man. Because, see, men normally try to come up with strategies on how to get to the sex without trying to let the woman know exactly what they're doing. But a lot of times, if a woman can't get nothing else, a woman can get sex on the man. I don't care how the woman look. She ain't got to be no 10. She could be she ain't even got to be no adjustable 7. She could be on the range of looking 1 to 3 on a scale between 0 and 10. She could look like even a 1. Let me tell you this, sister. Long as a woman has sex with a man, there's some man somewhere that will have sex with her. Don't ever think that a woman can't get sex on a man. A woman can get sex on the man quicker than a man can, because our society tell men to go get it. You understand? So men work, a lot of men can work for it, but it's easy to come by when it comes for a woman. And back to the little illustration. Brothers, if you're dealing with more than one woman and you're not married to, how you doing, Sister Jane? If you're dealing with more than one woman you're not married to, and you're having sex with this woman on a regular basis, a lot of time in a lot of relationships, it's supposed to be quote unquote understanding, right? But there's no understanding a lot of time. I don't care what no man say. I don't care what no woman say. If a man say, look, this is all I want to do. I don't want to get in no relationship. And he won't define a relationship. And then a lot of time the woman say, okay, let's just see where it goes. Okay, when you said let's see where it goes, that means that you, brother, and you, sister, you should not clown on another person when you see them out in public with someone else. But that don't really work most of the time. I don't care what nobody say. Somebody gonna act like a clown out in public when they see somebody with somebody else. That's just all to it. And like I was saying, brother, if you having sex with more than one woman, and that woman that you having sex with, first of all, you're not supposed to do it anyway if you're not married, okay? That's first of all. But if you do decide to do it, just check this out. You're going to keep having sex with a woman, even though she, quote unquote, act like she understands it. She can't get past it because she's a woman. She's emotional. You could be emotional too, brother, but once you have sex with these women, because you all know, most of the time when a man and woman have sex, they do it in the raw. Let's be real, my brother and sister. Most time when men and women have sex, they don't have no rubbers. No rubbers don't be involved. Most of the time at the beginning, it might be some rubber, but eventually, those rubbers coming off so they can feel that natural flesh. And then some people don't even take around no rubbers and stuff, but they're gonna go for the gusto. But they would tell their children now, make sure you have protection now. You make sure you have rubbers and stuff. But a lot of times adults don't think that, even though you're telling your children about using rubbers, which you encouraging them to do it. You see, you in a pickle. What you should do is tell your children not to have sex. But most parents, they say, no, I can't do that. I got to play it safe. And what it say? I got to make sure that I get him some rubbers, and I got to make sure she has some rubbers, or she get on the pills and stuff. What are you promoting? You're promoting to your children, okay, if you're going to have sex, be safe with it. But that's not how God see it. That's how the world see it. You see, the world compromise. God say, I don't want you having sex until you're married. That's what God says. The world does not say that. The world encourage you to get in the car and test drive it. That's what the world encourage you to do, my brothers and sisters. I'm trying to see. I hope I done spoke to all of you all. Let me see. I hope I did. Yes. Now, brother, when a woman come and you out in the public with another woman and she start acting ballistic, you might think she's crazy. She's not crazy. When she does like Jasmine Sullivan, you all remember that song by Jasmine Sullivan? She said, I bust the windows out your car. When these women messing up your cars and all that kind of stuff, you want to call them crazy, right? They're not crazy. What they are soul tied. That's why they bust the window out your car. That's why it appear that they crazy. That's why when they walk up to you in a restaurant and they don't care who looking. That's why they get on Facebook and stuff. That's why they do all this stuff, because they so tied to you. And then this is what you'll say, brother. But we had an understanding. We had an understanding that we would just hook up every now and then. Let me tell you something about women that you just hook up with too, brother. The women that you just hook up with in the wee hours of the morning, guess what? You get so tied to them too. You get so tied to them too. No matter who is with. No matter, you're gonna get so tired. You cannot sleep with nobody without getting so tired. And you, brother, sister, what I'm about to say, you know I'm telling the truth. What I'm about to say to all of you. Everybody that you have had sex with, my brother and sister, everybody that you have had sex with. Now, some of you are like Betty Wright. You know, Betty Wright had this little part in her song, Tonight is the Night. You know, when you think about who all you have had sex with, if you had sex with multiple people, there are some people that you're not even going to remember. You might start out trying to say, okay, I slept with this person, I slept with this person, I slept with this person, but it might be some people that you leave out if you have had multiple people. Then some kind of way you might see that person, then you say, well, I had sex with him or her. But let me tell you this, brother, about sex. Anybody that you have sex with, let me tell you what happened. Anytime that you and that person have contact, you might not bring it up in the conversation. Listen to what I'm saying. You might, how you doing, Sister Lisa Lloyd? You might not bring it up in the conversation, but one of the first things you think about is your sexual moment with that person. It might be a fleeting thought, but there's no way that you're going to talk to someone on the phone, text somebody, or see them in person, or even see them on social media stuff. You're gonna think about you have had sex with that person, because it's a fact you had sex with that person, and it's downloaded in your conscience. That person is a part of you, my brother and sister. Everybody that you have had sex with is a part of you until the Lord take that person away from you. He's the only way that can clean it out. Brother and sister, right now, like I said, you got your body, your soul, and your spirit. You are so tied to multiple people. That's why you have problems in other relationships. That's why some people cannot secure other relationships, because you so tied to other people. You know what? So you have those other people energy inside of you. You are a triune being. Your body, your soul, and your spirit. You are a triune being, my brother and sister. So you going to develop a soul tie with that man and with that woman. And let me tell you this. The soul tie, my brother and sister, it is the bonding of the mind, the will, and the emotion. So once you get to that body level, it starts from the outside as far as the physical act itself. But before you get to that physical act, my brother and sister, it happens on the inside of you. When a man and woman normally have sex, they normally don't have it around other people. So you will come up with a quick plan, or you will come away with a plan. What do I mean by a quick plan or a plan? A quick plan is like if you meet somebody at the club or somewhere and you all go in the bathroom or whatever, and you do it quickly, right? But you're gonna go somewhere where you're a little isolated, or you get that plan where you actually plan it out. Like a lot of times, this is how a lot of men do it. Okay, a lot of men say, okay, we're going out to dinner, and this will allow you, sister, you may be aware of, but you might not be aware of. Let me be real, sister. Let me be real with you. And I'm going to be nice about this. Out of 10 men that want to take you out on a dinner date, listen to what I'm about to say. Out of 10 men that want to take you out on a dinner date, don't think that that man just taking you to a dinner date just to be taking you out. Out of 10 men, and I'm trying to be generous. I'm not going to even say half, but I'm going to say general. Maybe 3 men that take you out, sister, don't want to have sex with you on the first date. Do you understand that, sister? Maybe 3. I could even reduce it to 2. Now, some of you sisters say, no, men ain't like that. Sister, most men want to have sex. It's driven in us by society, United States of America, by growing up and being around men. It's peer pressure. Most men that take you out, sister, do you really think that most men want to take you out and don't want nothing on the back end? Now, some men, they will wait you out. Some men will wait you out, especially if they have a sexual partner with other women. They might actually like you, so they might say in their mind, I could wait for her. You know, I'll wait for her. I'll do the little good boy stuff. Look at, 2 months. That's right, Sister Flo. But most men on the first date, sister, if most men could get you on your back on the first date, they will. They will, sisters. And like Sister Lee said, that's all they basically want. Worldly men, that's all they want to do, sister. They want you to spread your legs. Most men want you to spread your legs and they don't take you nowhere. They would rather come to your house, your apartment, your cave, wherever you stay at, or you come to where they at and they just want to do it. But it's more than casual. That's why a lot of you sisters have walked into this, what I'm about to say. I think I mentioned it earlier. A lot of time when these men have sex with you, and majority of the time when they have sex with you, they have premature ejaculations. Most of the time they have premature ejaculation, and you felt like you hanging or you hung. And then you say in your mind, this all too, especially if the man, he go ahead and ejaculate in you, and once he get over, he flip out of you, and he laying there, and you looking like this all to it. Yeah, that was all to it. That's all he wanted, and he didn't care about you. He didn't care about you whatsoever, sisters. Does that register? That's why a lot of men can have sex with you and get up and put on their clothes, and you laying there and you thinking this all to it. So you really thought that it was going to be a relationship. Now, on the other hand, there are some people that have had sex and they did eventually get married. Now that is possible. Some men, like I always say, most men and women that are married, they have most of the time had sex before they got married. Okay. Most of them. So what y'all want to know now? This is what most of y'all want to know now. So what most of you all know now. Y'all want to say this is the question what some of you all might be asking. Since I always say most people have sex before they get married. Now when I say that, some of you all want to know, did you and Cinderella have sex before y'all get married? Who want to know that? Who want to know the answer to that question? Did you and Cinderella have sex before you get married? Do y'all want to know? Where I saved you from asking that question. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to say yay or nay to it. How about that? I'm not going to say yay or nay to it. But most men and women, they do it. look at Lisa. I know y'all. Okay, but let me get to this. Your body, my brother and sister, we're going back to this. Your body is a temple, brother and sister. This means your body houses your soul and your spirit. Let me expound this to you. I'm going to open up. I'm not going to explain it to you. I'm going to expound it to you. Your body is a temple. Let me go back to what Paul said, okay? As it is written in 1 Corinthians 6, 19, 20. Do you not know that your bodies are the temple of what? The Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you receive from God. You are not your own. You're not your own. You are bought with a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. It said, honor God with your body. Then the next thing, if you're not married, and it could go down, it don't matter who you have sex with. Paul used the illustration of a prostitute. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 6, 16, do you not know he who unite himself with a prostitute, even if he paying this woman cash, even if he taking care of a woman, a mistress, a girlfriend, or whatever. A prostitute, my brother and sister, is someone that exchange physical services for resources. Now, some of you sisters, you're not going to like what I'm going to say. But if you're not married to that man and you get that man sex because he paying your bills or he doing something for you, you are in the role of a prostitute. I must tell you that, sister. If this man is not married to you, and even if y'all call yourself going together and you reward this man with sex, you perform prostitution. I know a lot of you are not going to like that. Prostitutes do not have to be on Broadway. Prostitutes don't have to be walking the street. There are women that live in condos, mansions, and stuff like that. But they doing the prostitution thing and some women say, no money, no honey. What does that mean? The phrase is she's not gonna have no sex with this guy unless he's doing something from a resource standpoint. So anytime a woman is exchanging physical services for some type of resource, either he giving you direct money or he's doing something monetarily, you are acting or you behaving like a harlot or a prostitute. But back to what Paul said, even a prostitute, you're one with her in body. Now going back down to where I was at, it doesn't matter who you have sex with. Going back to your body is a temple, my brother and sister, which houses your soul and your spirit. Now the world, my brother and sister, will not know nothing what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the world look at this video, where it'll probably be on video, where I save this stuff anyway. If anyone from the world is looking at me right now, or they see this because I save it to my page, they're going to say what he's talking about is crazy. What he talking about? He talking crazy. Yes, I'm talking crazy because the world will look at what I'm talking about as crazy. And I did say this earlier for those of you that came in late. The topic was what often happens when sex comes before marriage. And I have admitted that I have been sexual active several times before I got married. And I'm being truthful, so I'm not coming here as holier than thou. I sin. I sin greatly. Like a lot of you brothers and sisters out there, y'all sin greatly, sexually, and you're going to do it this week or whatever. Or later on. Some of y'all might be sexual after I get finished with this show. Some of you are saying, go ahead and finish so I can call him or she could call me and so we could get on. So Tony just talking, Tony just entertaining us, blah, 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 blah. He don't know what he's talking about. He talking crazy. He just said that he had sex. So how can he have sex and tell us not to have sex? Because I'm being open with you, brothers and sisters. I know I have walked that road before. I know what it's like to sin against God. And that's one of the things that I did. I fornicated. I have done that. I sure did. And you know what, brother and sister? When you sin, a lot of time when you sin, it feel good. It felt good. It felt good. But it was wrong. It was wrong. It was wrong. It was wrong. But I was washed and I was cleansed by the Lord. Sister Lisa said a man said that he has to test drive. That, you know what, Sister Lisa? A lot of men say that. They say that because they throwing that out there. How you doing, Sister Angela? They throwing that out there because they want you to know, look, we got to have some sex so I can see where the relationship going to go. And then there's some women that say, look, we got to have sex so I can see where the relationship goes. So there's some men and some women that does that. But back now, your body, my brother and sister, is the temple of the Lord. Now, the world think that what I'm telling you, my brothers, they think it's crazy. They only want, they looked at this they glimpse into it to see what I'm talking about, or they will look at little pieces. Then they say, I don't want to hear no more of that. I can't roll with that car. I just got to get my fix. I got to go get my medicine. You know what? So, my brother and sister, when it comes to sex, and remember I told you that most of the time it goes through lust. And you all remember the information that I gave you all with the lust part, right? Okay, lust is defined as unusual, intense, unbridled sexual desire, which is lasciviousness. Lasciviousness is unrestrained sexual behavior, and it can be habitual. So there are some of you brothers and sisters, you could get to the point where you realize or not that you just got to have your fix because it's like cocaine to some of you. Yes, there's some sexual addiction, and if you keep doing it, my brothers, it's two things that are going to happen. If you continue to have sex and you're not doing it God's way, it's going to get to the point where it's just like cocaine. Once a person starts getting cocaine, they get their initial high, and then they keep going back. But what happens, they're going to need more of it to get that particular high. And once you get that particular high, what's going to happen? You're going to be feeling empty. So a lot of you brothers and sisters, especially you sisters, if you notice this, a lot of time when you have sex with these guys, you feel empty on the inside, especially when he be one of those kind of guys that be calling you, saying good morning, how you doing, beautiful. He texting you in the morning stuff. He really working. He doing all kinds of stuff. But once he have sex with you, those calls drop off, those texts drop off, and then he see you every now and again. Because most of the time, you sister, most of the time when you have sex with a man and he's not living with you, when he leave, and you know what I'm saying, it's the truth, sister. Most of the time when a man has sex, when you leave, you looking for him to immediately call you after he gets home or text. You looking at your watch, and you want him to call you. You want him to text you immediately after that. Don't let him go a few days. Don't let the man go a few days and he don't call you or text you. You know why? Because you let that man get into your body. Now that man he's in your soul. Now he's in your emotions, your will, and your mind. You see, when this man got into you physically, sister, he passed that particular door. Now he's where your soul at. So now your emotions are there, and then your will saying, I will let him have more of me, especially if he's feeling good to you on a physical level. So you giving him your all doing the sex part, right? And the more you have sex, the more you're going to be doing double monkey back flips and all kinds of stuff, because you got to do something what appears to be more exciting. That's what you're going to have to do. Something more exciting, because he's going to get tired of just that missionary stuff. Like you're going to get tired of it too. Then you're going to want variety. And when you want variety, and when the right man comes after you and that man get finished, and they go for you too, brother, after you and that woman get finished, you're going to be doing a comparison and contrast with that new person, especially when you get married. So sister, when you get married to a man, and this man doesn't do what that other man used to do, guess what? You're going to be thinking about that other man. You're going to be thinking, you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to think about that other man to have a climax. And your husband think he's the one that calling you to have a climax. Some of you sisters, if you appear to be boring to your husband, he's going to think about that woman that used to swing from trees and all those tricks she used to do. He's going to compare you. Brother and sister, let me just be real. Even when you get married, and I must say this, even when you get married, you're gonna do some comparison and contrast in your mind. You know why? Because you have had sex with someone else. And if you had sex with someone else that bring that fire to you, and if your mate is not bringing that fire to you, you're gonna be thinking about that other mate. that other person that you had sex with because you soul tied to him. You see, it's more than just that man and woman brought physical fire to you. That man and woman is in your psyche. That's why some of you brothers and sisters, you are married right now, but you're thinking about somebody else on the other side of town. You've been thinking about that man and woman on the other side of town for years. You've been thinking about it for years. They tied to you. And all it takes is for that man and woman to text you. All it takes is for that man or woman to call you. All it takes is for you to see that man or woman at the store. All it takes is a little talk. And when it comes to a little talk, you brother, you sister, you soul tied to someone else. You might not do it immediately, but once you start having problems in your home, you know what you're going to do? You're going to pick up that phone and you're going to call Tyrone. Or you're going to pick up that phone and you're going to call Betty Boo. Boo boo ba-doo. That's what you're going to do. And then you're going to go revisit what you had in the past. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to open up how you all used to do stuff. You're going to try to make up for lost time. I'm telling you what's going to happen, my brother and sister, when you allowed another man or another woman to enter your temple. Now, the world will not know nothing about what I'm talking about, as I said earlier. But the world mostly think, like I said, that I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. I'm just telling you some fact what the world don't want me to tell you about. When a man and woman normally have sex and it comes by being lustful, okay, what happened? That man and woman is basically about me, myself, and I. That's why, sister, a lot of time when you have sex with men, they have a lot of premature ejaculation. You know why they have premature ejaculation? Because it's not about you. It's about me, myself, and I. That's why some of you sisters, you expecting for a man to consider your feeling when he having sex with you, right? That's what you considering. But most of the time, men are thinking about me, myself, and I. That's why you all be left hanging. They only think about getting inside your body, doing what they're going to do, and then once they release, they get disengaged. Remember when you all were having sex, they were hugging you and kissing and stuff on you, but after it's over with, they might kiss you a little bit, but it's not going to be as passionate as it was when you were having sex. You understand? They're going to disengage because they're not right there. That's why, like I said earlier, most women, they get soul tied quicker than men get soul tied. But if the man keep touching the woman and stuff, he's going to eventually get to that point too, because you cannot lay with nobody, my brother and sister, without getting soul tied. You might say it's a one-night stand. It could be a one-night stand, but guess what? What's in that person, you taking a piece of that person and that person taking a piece of you. And it's going to affect you down the road in your other relationship. So you thinking that you're having a problem with this other man or this other woman. It has something to do a lot because that person is on the inside of you. That person is soul tied to you, my brothers and sisters. Now, as it is written in 1 Corinthians chapter 7:1. Chapter 7:1. Paul is writing to this church at Corinth, and he's addressing some men and women that are married. Men and women have sexual problems when they're married, my brother and sister. I could tell you because during my consultation, that's one of the big things what happened between men and women. They got sexual problems, not only money problems, but sex is one of the high points that men and women talk to me about. When it comes to sex, believe it or not, before I got into this consultation thing, men would talk about, man, when we got married, the sex dropped off, or she didn't want to do nothing. But now, since I'm doing this consultation, there are a lot of women that saying, my husband don't want to touch me. Why he don't want to touch me? And some of you brothers, you got some beautiful wives. Let me tell you this, brothers, those of you, she ain't even got to be beautiful. She could just look halfway. She could look halfway with a bonnet on her head. There's a man out there that will have sex with your woman. Let me tell you something, by the way, some of you brothers. Let me tell you something, brothers. I need to tell you this. Brothers, if you are married, Thank you, Sister Cheryl, for putting it up. If you're married, brother, let me tell you this. So some of you, brother, you need to stop being overly jealous when your woman go to the store or work. If you got a nice looking woman, brother, some guy's gonna jump on your woman when you out there. You gotta understand, it's up to her what she does. When I said jump on it, it's gonna be some guys that gonna want to talk to your woman. And sister, there's gonna be some women out there that's gonna want to talk to your man. So just look at it that way. Even when you go back to the Garden of Adam and Eve, Satan wanted Adam and Eve. God had them, Satan wanted them. And the same thing, brother and sister, there's some men and women of the world that's gonna want your mate. So accept it. It's gonna be up to your mate to exercise his or her will to what he or she going to do. And it's really up to them. So don't be going, brother, jumping on this other man. Sister, don't be going jumping on this other woman about my husband and my wife. That's my husband, that's my wife. Yes, but your husband and your wife made a conscious decision and got with somebody else. But back to 1 Corinthians 7:1. Now for the matter you wrote about. It is good for a man not to have sexual relation with a woman. But since sexual immorality is occurring, so Paul knew that it was occurring. Paul knew that people were having sex before they got married. That's why he said this statement, but since sexual immorality is occurring, each man should have sexual relation with his own wife, and each woman with her own husband. The husband should fulfill his marital duties to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. That means, my brother and sister, you can't come up with excuses why you don't want to, like R. Kelly said, bump and grind. You got to give that bump and grind, my brother and sister, to your husband or wife. Now, the wife does not have authority over her own body, but yet it is her husband. So, sister, you got to get this. Once you get married, you think it's your body. It's not your body anymore. It's your husband's body. In the same way, husband does not have authority over his own body, but yield it to his wife. Brothers, when you get married to your wife, that's her body. She could do what she want to do with your body. You could do what you want to do to her body, called it's my body. If I go back there with Cinderella right now, I could say, that's my body. Now she could come where I'm at. That's my body. You understand? What I'm saying is that one flesh, my brother, sister. So you should not come up with no excuse. Now, Roy, I'm about to say now, brother, you and sister, y'all should have some common sense. Not no common sense. Have some wisdom. Some of you, brother, if your woman have her monthly, let that woman go through her monthly. Okay? Let her go through that stuff. Let her go through all that monthly stuff, okay? If she having it, give her time. If she is sick, give her time. If she got some things going on, give her time, because you don't want no woman that's going to be half-stepping on you. You don't want your wife to half-step. Now, most wives that are good to their husband, some women, no matter how they feel, they will have sex with their husband. But that's why, brother, you got to come in. You can't be selfish, brother, and say, if you know your woman having some problem up here in her mind, don't bother her right now. If she's sick, don't bother her. And some of you brother, when your wife just had a baby and you want to go ahead and get in her before she get the buster stitches. That's how some of you brothers are. You got to be considerate. And some of your sisters, you got to be considerate to your husband too. This man, he can have some stuff going on too. So he might need a little space too. So what I'm saying, my brother and sister, you have to exercise some common sense. Not no common sense, but wisdom when it comes to the sexual part with your mate. Now, if you play crazy, my brother and sister, or if you act foolishly, Paul said that do not deprive each other except perhaps by mutual consent and for a time. That's what I was just talking about. Using wisdom, because you have to have consent and some time. So you, brother, you sister said, no, we ain't got to do it right now because I know you going through this or you feeling this way. That wouldn't mean consent with time. So that you may devote yourself to prayer. That's another reason where you could pull back from your husband or wife when it comes to prayer. So some of you brothers and sisters, especially some of you sisters, don't be talking about you praying. You got to pray to the Lord for a month, okay? Don't be doing all that, because the Lord know your husband needs some sex. And brothers, same thing. Before you talk about you got to pray to the Lord for a month, you know when you got married, that woman needs some sex, and that man needs some sex, and you need the Lord. But the Lord come first. Go ahead and pray with the Lord. And once you pray for the Lord, you better go ahead and get busy, because this is what's going to happen. Then come together again so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. What does that mean? It means, brother and sister, if you hold back, a man and a woman are going to hold back for so long. And I'm telling you, I see it over and over and over again. Sister Annie said, what do you say if he's not able to perform? What should you do from your perspective as a man? If a man cannot perform, let me tell you that. Good question, Annie. Let me tell you this. Sister, what you need to understand, don't assume that no man is impotent. That's the physical part where he have a lack of blood flow, okay? They have a lack of blood flow, right? Now, if a man have a lack of blood flow, it could be due to age. It could be due to diabetes. It could be due to illnesses that affect his body. But brothers, if you have a physical problem and you don't have no mental problem, no mental emotional problem against your woman, you need to go to the physician and be straight to the point and tell the physician however you want to tell him or her, look, doctor, I'm going to give you a little script. Doctor, I'm not able to perform physically, intimately with my wife. And the doctor going to say, what's going on? What you say something like, doctor, my penis won't get erected or hard. Some of you brothers don't even know what erected means. So just say my penis won't get hard, and you just the doctor know what you're talking about. Okay, say I just can't get it up. Then the doctor will probably prescribe to you some medication to help you to be able to perform your duties as a husband. If it's a physical thing. Because, brother, the worst thing you could do is you get your wife riled up and you get semi-erected. What happens when you get semi-erected? If you get semi-erected, you cannot enter into your wife. Because what's going to happen if you get semi-erected, you're going to bend over. You're supposed to be firm like this, brother. You're supposed to be firm. You're supposed to be firm. So y'all think I'm finna put my hand in, I ain't gonna do that. So brother, you supposed to be firm so you could enter your woman. If you don't be firm entering your woman, this is what's gonna happen. You're going to be disappointed. You're gonna disappoint her. And more than likely, you're going to try to gaslight it and flip it on her like she's the problem. That's what a lot of brothers do. You gaslight the woman like she's got the problem. And she know you got the problem. Angela said, suppose they can't take medication, then what? Well, there's a possibility, Angela, that he might have to get an operation. There'll be pumps that they have. So he might have to go get that pump item inserted in him. So that's what he might have to do. Hopefully he doesn't do it. So, brother, that's why it's very important. And let me tell you this too, brother. Listen up. Brothers, when you look at all that stuff on TV about wine and drinking and stuff like that, yeah, hard problem. Yeah, you're going to have to let your doctor help you on that, brothers. And let me tell you, brother, listen to this. When you know that you're about to have sex with a woman, don't drink a lot. Alcohol will do something to your libido too. If you got to drink, brother, drink just a little bit. Don't drink a whole lot, because if you drink a whole lot, that's going to affect your libido. Now, that's on a physical level. Let's talk about the psychological and emotional level. Now, sisters, sometimes The man may have something mentally and emotional against you. That's what some sisters don't understand. Just because he cannot get an erection or maintain an erection, that means that it's something that he got that he's dealing with you, or something else, or it's something that's going on in your relationship. So, sister, before you think that a man got a physical problem, just think and talk to him and see, is there any kind of thing that he got against you? If he talk, hopefully you got a talker, so you could talk about it. Cause if you have a good conversation, and let me tell you this is what you need to do. If your man is having a psychological, emotional problem, what you need to do is talk to him. You get to some one-on-one time. You don't want no distraction, and say what you normally start off with, sister. Say something like, "Is it something about me? What do I need to do? Is it something about me that causing us to have this problem sexually?" Don't attack him. That's the worst thing you could do, because you attack him, he's going to pull back and he's going to get defensive. Don't attack him, because you want him to talk to you. So you say, "Is it you come like it's something about you?" So say, "It's something that I'm doing or I need to do to arouse you," and maybe he might talk. But don't. And you see, let me tell you this too, brothers. Let me tell you this. If you got a psychological or emotional problem, you need to resolve it with your woman. Sister, the same thing too. If you don't get moist, because some of you sisters, you get the hysterectomy and stuff like that, you need to go to your doctor or go get some medication so you could lather up. Because the worst thing, sister, you could do is you be like the Sahara Desert down there. Because men want you to be like the Niagara Falls. I'm just telling you, men want you, sister, to be like Niagara Falls. What do I mean by that? Men want that sheet to be wet. Not with urine. Hopefully some of you, so this is what some sisters do. They would take the opportunity to urinate during that time, and the man thinking, she just in climate. I see how wet the sheet is now. She done urinate. And you think you did. So now her bladder was full and she went ahead and urinate on you. Now, sisters, if you have a problem where you are not like the Niagara Falls, you need to talk to your physician and stuff like that. Because one of the things, sister, what happened, if you're not moist enough, when a man tried to enter you, his skin could tear. Or it's called being skint. Some men get sore, sister, if you are not lubricated well. Now, if you notice this, some of you sisters might have noticed this. The man have a problem getting in you, right? He has the problem. I'm talking to you married, sister. He have a problem getting in you, right? He have a problem getting in you. So, brother, what I recommend is, you going to have to do something to lubricate your woman. It's something that you might not be doing that she wants you to do. Now we're going to talk. We're going to talk. Some of you brothers, some of your women like to, that's right, Sister Annie. Some of you brothers and sisters, some of your wives like to have oral sex. Sister, some of your husband like oral sex. Before you got married, sister, you were having oral sex on him. Brother, before you got married, you were having oral sex on her. But when you get married, you want to change the game plan, right? So this man used to you having oral sex with him, and this woman used to you having oral sex with her. Now, when you get married and saved, you don't want to have oral sex no more, right? But let me tell you this, my brother and sister, when it comes to pleasing your mate, listen to what I'm saying. When it comes to pleasing your mate, you got to do whatever it takes to please your mate. You understand? You got to do whatever it takes to please your mate. Before you go to the preacher, some of you sisters quick at going to talk to the preacher, talk to your husband. Husband, talk to your wife. Because let me tell you this, sister, when you go to talk to your preacher, if he married, and you go and tell your preacher, my husband My husband want me to have oral sex with him. Or you brothers, my woman, she don't want to have oral sex with me. What you think about that, preach? Let me tell you. Your preacher might be doing some things that you go talk to him about. When it comes to sex, my brothers and sisters, you have to do whatever it takes to please your mate, because you got to understand this. Back to 1 Corinthians chapter 7:1. It states that the wife does not have authority over her own body, but yield to her husband. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his body. Brothers and sisters, if you're married, if you don't, and then this another thing, this gets a lot of marriages too. Sisters, brothers, you have to be careful about that porn. Be careful when it comes to the porn, brother, because you think it's just like an addiction. I'm telling you, brother, it's an addiction. Brother, when you look at porn, guess what? And sister, when you look at porn, what it does, it gets in your mind. What you see, it go into your mind. When you see porn, my brother and sister, what do you see? You see two people that it's not that much dialogue. They just meet up and they start having sex, right? They don't talk that much. They just have sex. There's no romance or nothing like that, because the people that you see on porn, they're not married to those people. You understand? They're not married to those people. So Dan said, you know, some believers are against that period because that's what gays and lesbians do. Well, that's what that was some gays and lesbians do, because you got to understand this. When it comes to a man and woman, something got to go in and something come out. When the two men are together, something going in and out. A man putting his penis in another man's rectum or his mouth, and when two women doing it, they putting their hands or some device up in the other woman's vagina. That's what should tell some men and some women that it's natural for a man and woman to be together. You don't have to do all that extra work. If you notice this, my brother and sister, when it comes to that. Sister, and I'm glad you brought it up, because that just triggered a thought. Do you, brother and sister, ever notice this? We're going to talk about the animal kingdom briefly. When you look at the animal kingdom, have you ever noticed that male animals only mess with female animals? Have you ever noticed that? Now, they might sniff, female might sniff, but they understand that they understand they go with female. You don't never see two male dogs getting together. You don't see no animals getting together with their same gender. They get together with the opposite gender. And that's how humans supposed to do it. And I'm not kicking on gays and lesbians. You do what you choose to do because you got a free will. However, God desire for a man and woman to be that way. Because God created at the beginning, when you look at it's documented in Genesis, God created the man and the woman. He created the man and the woman to reproduce and have dominion. He did not make two men at the beginning. He didn't make two females. He made a man and a woman. Oh, back to the porn. Some of you brothers stop. You know, when you look at porn, they go for men and women. When men and women looking at porn, what that does something to your mind. What it does is stimulate you sexually, right? It stimulates you sexually. There are more men that look at porn than women. This is what's going to happen, brother, if you keep looking at porn. Especially if your wife is not looking at porn. You're going to look at porn. You're going to look at Debbie Doe Dallas, right? You're going to look at porn. And then in your mind, brother, you're going to want your wife to do what you're looking at on the porn. You're going to want your wife to do it. She might not know you're looking at porn. So when your woman come in from work, you're going to want to roughhouse her, right? And she's going to say, what you doing? What's wrong with you? Because you think in your mind, you want your wife to do what you just seen on porn. And what happened when your wife don't do what you seen on porn, you're going to get frustrated. And when you get frustrated, you're going to result to just looking at porn, and while your wife is not away, you're going to get some gel or some lotion and you're going to go at it yourself. So you're going to get to the point where you don't even want to touch your wife. You're going to look at those porn movies and you're going to you're going to go ahead and ejaculate while you're looking at that. Then your wife come home and she want to be intimate with you, and you don't have no juice. And then some of you brothers, you're going to get to the point where you need to look at porn to have sex with your wife. That's how some of you brothers will get. You're going to have to look at porn to have sex with your wife. You're going to have to look at porn when she's not around, or she could be in another room. You're going to look at porn, and then when you get charged up, you're going to run in there to her because you don't want to get deflated before you get to her. And there's not going to be no romance, and you're just going to get high on porn. You're going to run back there where your wife at, or upstairs or wherever, and then you're going to want to have sex right then because you know your time is short. You want to get it on with her while you're firm. So, brother, I'm telling you, there's a lot of you brothers, you hooked on porn. And let's not leave you sisters out. Let's not leave you all out. Some of you sisters, you got those little toys, right? You got those little toys as an enhancement. What happened when you keep playing with those toys? And you didn't go to toys. Some of you sisters, y'all have those little freaky parties for ladies. You all know what I'm talking about, where they be selling that sex stuff. You saw a lot of you sisters big on vibrators and stuff, aren't you? A lot of y'all good on vibrators. Some of you sisters, you get to the point where it's a lot of you married sisters, you use the vibrator so much that your man don't do nothing for you. Y'all just want him to. And this is what some of you sisters do. You have sex with this man, and when you have sex with this man, you want him to hurry up and get finished. You know why? So what you do, some of you manipulate your vagina walls, right? And you sisters know what I'm talking about. You manipulate your vagina walls. So what you do, you clutch down tight on him, and you say stuff to him so he could go ahead and ejaculate, right? Because you tired of it, because he's not doing what you want him to do. So when you manipulate, look at Andy said, I keep forgetting to buy me one. Y'all see Andy said I did. But anyway, what happened? You go ahead because he's not doing what he needs to do to take care of your clitoris or your clitoris. He missing the clitoris and all that kind of stuff, your G-spot and all that. So he bypassed, all he thinking about is getting to the vaginal part. You want to be stimulated in your clitoris, and you want to be stimulated with your G-spot, but he missing that, right? So once you manipulate him with your vagina wall so he go ahead and release himself, and he go to sleep, what you do? You go in the bathroom. How you doing, Sister Spain? You go in the bathroom, and when you go into the bathroom, you cap off with that vibrator. You know, so brother, if you hear like a lawnmower in the bathroom, or you hear something like, she might act like her phone is ringing, right? She might act like it's on. Oh, that's just my phone. It's on the sink and it's just vibrating. No, brother, she got a vibrator in there. She capping off. That's what she's doing. She capping off because she got so addicted to the vibrator. And when she got so addicted to the vibrator, brother, it's over. That's why, sister, I'm telling you, stop playing so much with those vibrators, especially you single women. That's a lot of you when you get finished talking to me, you got your vibrator in your drawer that got cobwebs on the car. You forgot about it. Now, since I'm talking about the vibrator, you're gonna get that boy out, you're gonna clean it up, and you're gonna do it. Some of you single sisters, I know you're single, but you keep playing with those vibrators, and when your husband comes, he's not going to do it for you. He's not going to do it for you, sister. What often happens when sex comes before marriage? Like I said earlier, majority of the time when you have sex with people, let's just be real, brother, sister, like when some of the women that I had sex with, I didn't get married to them. So that's part of it. Most of the time when a man and woman have sex with people, they don't get married to them. That's just real. You don't. Most of you all that have sex with people, did you get married to them? Come on now. You know y'all ain't got married to. Look at y'all. Look how y'all looking. You know y'all guilty. Y'all guilty like me. Y'all was sinning. Y'all was sinning. Y'all having fornication. Y'all having fornication. Especially, you know why I could tell y'all have fornication? Real proof of fornication are children. You might not be married, but a real proof of fornication is when you have children or you're pregnant. That means, and you're not married, you've been fornicating. That's right, you've been fornicating. And now, some of those people, just because, and let me put this out there too, just because a woman had 2 or 3 children, that doesn't mean that a woman that does not have children haven't fornicated more than a woman that have children. Let me just put that out there. There are some women that don't have no evidence of children. You know why? Because she more than likely have been taking birth control pill, or she been doing something where she can't get pregnant, or the possibility that she have gotten abortions to hide it. So there's different reasons for different things. But when you get with you have sex before marriage, my brother and sister, the world way, most of the time you're not going to get married to people. Then you develop a soul tie. Let me see what Sister Holly said. You most definitely did. Sex is the married. Marriage doesn't start at paperwork. Amen, sister, amen. But let me tell you this, my sisters and brothers. When you have sex before marriage, it's wrong. And like I have told you before, I did what was wrong. I did what was wrong. The women that did it with me were wrong. Most of the time, I initiated because I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. They knew what they were doing too. I didn't trick them. I didn't say nothing about, I want to make love to you, and manipulated them. I didn't take them out to dinner just to do nothing and all that. I told them in my sinful lifestyle, I told them what was up. I just told them what was up. There's no woman that I sinned with in the past that could say, he tricked me. Tony lied to me like we were going to have a relationship. He lied to me just to have sex. There's not one woman that could say I lied to them to have sex. They knew what was up. It was wrong. It was wrong, my brother and sister. It was wrong. But I did it. And like I said, the Lord cleansed my sinful past with his blood. Now the world would look at it like, how can you talk about this topic, Tony, when you did? I could talk about it because I walked that walk, and I could talk it because I know, and I know the Lord cleaned me. Let me tell you this. It will hurt you, brother, it will hurt you psychologically and stuff. That's why right now, brother, there's a woman out there that hates your guts. You know why she hates you? She hates you because she got a soul tied to you. Some of you brothers and sisters that have problem with visitation with children, you know that how some people play with the children. You know, she might not want the children over there, or he might not want the children over there. They thinking that you have a sex with someone, but they still soul tied to you. It's not that they in love with you. They soul tied to you because you still got a piece of them. That's why when 2 people have a divorce, you tearing up. That's why the illustration, I use paper and glue, but I could use wood. If you put glue and wood between wood and it dry, and you try to pry that wood together, some of the wood coming off on that side and some of that side, because that's what it is. It's a glue, my brother and sister. Soul tied for real. Now get into the spiritual side of it. Listen to what I'm about to say, my brother and sister, and then I'm going to close out the spiritual side. This is the most important side of it. Brothers and sisters, you're going to have one or the other spirit in you. You got your body, and you have your soul. Every man and woman have their soul. But the spiritual part is it. Brothers and sisters, you either going to have the Holy Ghost in your body, or you're going to have a demon spirit in you. You can't have both of them. You can't have both of them. So that's why I say, brothers and sisters, when you have sex with someone, it's the body, the soul, and the spirit. So let's let Paul make a statement. Let's let Paul make a statement. Paul said again in 1 Corinthians 6:16, do you not know that he that is uniting himself with a prostitute is one with her in the body? Now, it doesn't have to be a prostitute, but you become one in the body. You become, like Paul said, for it is said the two will become one flesh. That's why I say, everybody you sleep with, my brother and sister, you become one flesh with them. You think it's casual, it's not casual. Everybody, so a lot of you brothers and sisters, you walking around with energy, spirit, and that's why some of you can't handle a relationship up. You always talking about you the victim. There are some men and women that the victim. And they said that this man and woman always doing them wrong and leaving them. You know why? Because you, when you have sex with these people, you got these different energies, and when these people walk away from you, they don't like that particular energy that you're manifesting through your body. You understand? So whoever you sleep with, you got, just imagine you got all those soul ties in you. Now we come with the Spirit of the Lord. When the Spirit of the Lord comes, and the Lord comes, he break those soul ties. He break them. They break. No evil spirit can enter into your body when the Lord is there. Now, when you don't have the Spirit of the Lord there, you got to have another spirit. You're going to have a satanic spirit in you. Now, some people think when you have a satanic spirit in you, you're going to walk around being all obvious evil. The devil, my brother and sister, he is an angel of light. He transformed himself to an angel of light. He's a counterfeit. So there's a man and woman, they can have more than one demon in their body. If you look at it, like when Jesus healed this one man, he had a legion, right? And I think a legion is probably up to 10,000, if I got it wrong. A legion is a whole lot of spirit. This one man had a whole lot of spirits in him. But they asked Jesus, can they leave out the man's body? And Jesus told them, okay, leave. And they went and got them some swine. It was about swine or pig. They got them about 2,000. And the swine couldn't take those evil spirits, so they ran and got in some water, drowned themselves. So there's some men and women that have these demonic spirits in them. So brother, this was happening. And sister, if you got the Spirit of the Lord in you, and you deal with a man and woman that got the spirit of Satan in them, just look how, just imagine what that is. Just imagine that. You bring your body and soul, and now you got the Lord's spirit, and then you got this demonic spirit in the person that you're having sex with. And do you know that's not hurting the Lord? His spirit, don't you know that grieving his spirit? When you have a sex with someone that don't have the Spirit of the Lord in them, yeah, they look good. Yeah, they look fine. Yeah, they got this six-pack and all that. They smelling good. They got this and that. But the Bible said it. I'm going to tell you that every man and every woman, based on paraphrasing, you could sin without the body. But when you have sex, my brother and sister, you sinning against your own body. That's the only sin that when you sin against your own body. Every other sin is not, don't have nothing to do with your body. But when you have sex with somebody, you're sinning with the body. And as Paul said in 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20, that chapter, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19 through 20, do not you know that your bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit? You got to understand, my brother and sister, that the Spirit of the Lord is in you, and he bought you when he died on the cross. When you, my brother and sister, when Christ came to you, and this is another thing that I'm going to try to kill tonight. No man or woman go looking for the Lord, because the Bible said that no man or no woman go looking for him. The Lord always have to approach us some kind of way. Okay? What happens? The Lord attract us to him through his Son, Jesus Christ. So there is a wooing of the Spirit. What does wooing mean? Wooing means just like when a man approach a woman to woo her, to get her attention. So the Spirit of the Lord get your attention some kind of way. By you probably looking at this, you listen, or you read your Bible, or some type of religious program or something, you are being wooed, okay? You're being wooed. The Spirit of the Lord is getting your attention. So once the Spirit of the Lord getting your attention, you know what you're doing? Then you start believing. You have to believe first. Once you believe, you got to do something else after you believe. What is it you have to do after you believe? You have to confess. You have to confess by what you believe about God, the Father, His Son, and Spirit. After you confess, what do? You get baptized. And when you get baptized, that's when the Spirit of the Lord come in you. When you get baptized, my brother and sister, it's just a representation of a burial, right? It's a barrier. You don't feel no different. You don't look no different. But it happens in the spirit world. That's when the Spirit of the Lord comes in you. You know, that's a barrier. That's what it represents. Once you be emerged underwater, you being emerged. You ain't getting no little sprinkle on your head and stuff like that. You being emerged. Because just think about this. If a man or woman die, physical death, do they just put a little dirt over them and say you dead? No, they bury your butt up under the ground. So that's what burial means. When Jesus died on the cross, he got buried. They put him in this little tomb. He was buried. He was in a tomb. So when it comes to a tomb, that's what the water represents. It represents your burial. Then when you come up, it represents you're being resurrected to newness of life. So you have Christ's Spirit in you, and it stays in you until the Lord comes. Called the Spirit of the Lord, it seals you until the Lord comes, my brother and sister. It seals you till the Lord comes. And when the Lord comes in the clouds, my brother and sister, those that are dead in Christ going to rise up first. They're going to get their glorified bodies. Those that's walking around here on the earth right now, they're going to meet them in the air, and their bodies are going to transform, and you're going to get newness of life. Come, my brothers and sisters, what our new body is going to be, I don't know. The Bible don't tell us that. It just let us know that you're going to get new bodies. You're going to get, your body going to be remodeled, but your body's going to look just like Christ's body. So everybody, those of you that follow Christ, you're going to get a new body. Just know he could come at any time. He could come right now while I'm doing the broadcast. He could come at any time. Christ is on the verge of coming back. So always remember that. And my brother and sister, take heed. Your body is precious to the Lord. Some of you sisters, your body, you need to understand your body is precious. It's more than your vagina. Your whole body is precious. Brother, your body precious is more than your penis. Your body, sister and brother, it was bought with a price. It was bought with the Spirit of the Lord. You understand? That's what it was bought with. And with that said, thank you, brothers. Thank you, sister, for enjoying this broadcast. I hope that you all got something out of it. I love you, my brothers. I love you, my sister. What often happens when sex comes before marriage, it normally ends up bad. Now, there are some exceptions, but it's better, my brothers and sisters, to hold back and restrain until you get married. I love you, brothers. I love you, sisters.